5, 4. Air. Welcome everyone. This is Blender Cloud Live.
We have so much fun here.
So much fun. We are.
That's why we're always late starting, because we're just like.
It's not late. It's never late because we have celebration today. We have a Blender Cloud birthday. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about the history of Blender Clouds, how big it is. Is it 4 years already? So what happened in all these 4 years? How it started, and yeah, how many iterations it had, how good it have grown.
Yeah.
And also the subscriber support and how much better it got in the in the last few months.
Yeah.
But before, we should go to see what's happening now on the Blender Cloud.
Yes.
Remember, this is live. We're live in this like 5:40 in Europe, Central European time in Amsterdam. You can ask questions and we're gonna answer them towards the end. Right?
Yes.
Shall we go? Shall we start?
Correct. Let's find out what happened in the cloud.
now.
Yes. Our little recap.
A recap.
So, well, as usual, every week, one of my tasks is to make a report of what I have seen in the weekly, the previous week. So at the end of every week, we gather the team together on a Friday, and every artist or everyone that has been working on anything interesting, in particular, of course, the film production, they share and they show what they've been doing. And then we summarize it and publish it online so that everyone can enjoy the progress of the film.
Yeah, so it's like seeing the movie as it happens. In this case, the weekly report is from Spring, one of the 2 projects that are going on right now on the Blender Cloud. Yeah. Publicly. Actually, people, you can have your own private project, so who knows how many projects are going on the cloud.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's for another episode.
Yes.
So what happened actually? What happened?
Well, I mean, as you can see, the
cuteness, rocks.
Yeah.
Rocks.
Cute rocks with fur, and so basically, as I specified, these days is getting quite tough to make the weekly reports, because if you just look at what is happening there, it's like the same thing for like over a month now. Which is fine, because that's exactly how these production cycles go. It's not that every week something new and exciting, like completely new and exciting happens. Sometimes you set yourself a task, like doing the layout of the film, and it takes a month. 2 people, 1 month, basically full-time work. So, and of course, like...
This week, we have cute.
Of course.
Yes.
And that goes into the look development.
That's amazing. Look at him.
Yes, so excited.
So
the look development task, and so this weekend he's been working on grooming the Autumn, the dog, there.
Yeah, the dog is called Autumn, and she is called Spring.
I wonder if there is any relation between them.
Plot twist, just dropping some
facts.
Some facts, yes.
So that's really cool. It's awesome what Andy is pulling off, based on, of course, the model that was developed by Julian and the rig.
Based on designs by David.
Yeah, designs by David, the rig by Juan Pablo, and
animated by Hjalti and Pablo Fournier.
Yes. So we can expect to see this guy moving very soon. Yeah.
So also, I mean, if you want to know more about the story, spoiler alerts, there are videos about it. The whole layout basically is there. It's in the animatic and visualization folder on Blender Cloud in the project itself. But actually, no. Now that this
Tell me more.
No, that I heard that there might be big changes in the film coming. So that is actually very interesting. That's also part of the process of the movie itself. At this point, the layout, like the whole storyboards, have been moved into the 3D. So now is when you actually see the movie and you can check on the timing and everything. But it's also the best moment where you can say, okay, maybe the movie has to go in another direction. And so that is not on this week's, but maybe it's if it happens or how it happens, we still don't know. The team is working on it. Yeah. So maybe that will be a good
a recap moment that we can have here.
At some point in the next podcast or the one after, that will be pretty cool to have Andy and talk about it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like it's really that moment when you can, you take a step back and try to reassess things that happen, and even then you get like kind of a clear picture of what you want, but then still like making it become reality as soon as possible. That's sometimes difficult, but the idea that is being developed right now allows to kind of streamline, simplify the movie quite a bit, because you look at it and you're like, yeah, you had an idea of how the movie is going to be, and then you see it and you go like, maybe that's not really the right the right
The
way,
right direction,
whatever.
or maybe it doesn't even help the story. So it's all about story, right?
Yeah.
Or the production times. Layout is the best moment to do that, because it's okay. You already spent a lot of time in the story, in making the layout, but still the part that it takes most of the time is usually animation. So if you take that decision before animating, that helps
Great.
quite a lot.
That's a
That's a good success. Actually, it happened previously in other films. Actually, Cosmos Laundromat had a whole second part, the second life of Frank, and it was cut until what's left in the Cosmos in the end, the final Cosmos Laundromat movie. But if you go look on the cloud, you actually will see a whole second cycle, second episode, second life of Frank, pretty much not laid out, but
there is a
close.
bit of story.
Actually, there is
some
some layout. So that's pretty interesting. Also, the same with Caminantes Amigos. You can see one of the not latest layouts, but the animatics. You can see that the sad part of the film was actually longer. Like Koro gets left behind, and there's hugging going on, and there's
tears. So emotional, yeah.
And that was whole part of the movie until like, I don't know, a few weeks, a month before finishing it or something.
Yeah.
And we had to cut it. So this is part of the project. It's not unique to Spring. It's just part of how you make movies.
It always happens.
But it's pretty cool to be able to tell the process of making a film as it happens, and you can see it on the cloud, and you can see it's amazing. I think it's pretty unique. I don't know anybody doing this other thing.
Especially while it happens, because after the fact is always nice to show the
to
moments
have
of
a
difficulty.
making
But
of.
here you can see a struggle live almost on a weekly basis. So.
Exactly. Well, weekly with it now even more. So yes.
Yeah.
That will actually with Cosmos it's even more, because you could see the weeklies, like the presentation, the meeting, those 1 hour
long
Google Hangouts things. Yes, you can still find them on YouTube.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, that is for
this is Spring.
Yes, this is not really even. Yes. It's cold outside for spring.
Yes. And I would say let's actually talk about the other.
What?
There is another.
Oh wow! Yes, Hero. I heard another bird.
Big bird.
A big black bird. Told me there might be announcements coming soon.
Yeah.
Or even something else.
I mean, we can say Hero is in progress. Is doing very well.
What's Hero?
Hero is a
open movie.
Project, short film that is currently in production. Is a movie directed by Daniel Lara, working with a team of awesome artists and developers, primarily in Barcelona and in Spain, and of course with the whole online developers community as well, creating a grease pencil based animated short. And that's like very exciting, because it's not the grease pencil that is currently shipping with Blender, but it's the grease pencil of Blender 2.8 basically. So it's like the new iteration of grease pencil, which is really thought from the ground up, based on the successful features and the successful development from the previous one, but with an eye on really enabling artists to create a blend of 2D and 3D animation for series, for feature animation and stuff like that.
Or short films.
Of course.
So what are the news? Well, what's
Well, the main thing is that this month we will have a teaser trailer.
What? Say what?
Yes, there will be a teaser trailer, and I think it's gonna be mind blowing, because I mean, you can already have a glimpse of the footage. You can even see it now, like on the cloud. Some animation tests are being uploaded, and you can see the potential, like the combination of grease pencil and Eevee and 2D and 3D. It's like
4D and 5D.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. So like having a little teaser to hype up, and in the teaser we will announce the actual release date. So stay tuned for that, because that's not official yet, but the teaser is
actually,
coming out.
you're the first to know.
Yes.
So go spread the news. There will be a teaser.
Yes, yes.
No date.
Not yet.
Just a month.
This month is gonna happen.
March 2018.
18. We are.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
we can still leave that one out?
Can edit it, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I am so impressed by the work that the team
amazing,
is doing, and I'm really looking forward to see this finished, because the message that this movie brings, like how it's being made, the concept behind it, and even like the storytelling and the film itself, I love it. So I'm really proud that this is happening on the cloud, and that we can share it, and that it's gonna help Blender so much. And,
and actually this movie is also completely funded by the cloud.
Yes.
So if you're a cloud subscriber, pat
proud.
yourself on the back. You're
totally
making this happen.
Yeah.
And Grease Pencil is also one of the topics of the Code Quest, of Blender 2.8 Code Quest. So that will be, it's exciting times ahead. One of the goals of the Code Quest is to get Grease Pencil merged with Blender, with the main Blender 2.8 branch. So
yeah,
that
it's not a one-day thing, I guess.
No. Blender 2.0, the Grease Pencil development at the moment is happening on a branch. So the main goal is to get it from the branch, put it in Blender 2.8, so everybody everybody is using 2.8 right now can profit from can make use of it. And also there's the workspace, the actual layout that you use for animating.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's we will share the news next week. I think it will be announced the day of the teaser, so then we can all freak out together and
let's freak out.
Wait for it.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
So yeah, I think that's it for the current projects on the cloud, I would say.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, just drop us a
line. You can write them. Yeah. We are reading the comments.
Yeah.
So shall we move into celebration mode?
Yes.
Party mode?
Yeah, that's...
Do we have a hat? No? It's a cake. So they told me there was gonna be
I saw you tweeting about cake. And
I
feel, okay, to be fair, like this is the birthday edition, but it's not exactly the birthday. Right?
So we're saying this is clickbait? We are clickbaiting?
So in some cultures, celebrating a birthday before the actual date brings bad luck. Even.
Yeah, that's true.
But we don't care.
Birthday is on Friday, right?
Yes.
Friday is like in 2 days. It's official.
Yeah.
Friday, birthday of the Blender Cloud, the release of the Blender Cloud, which happened
in
4
years ago. Yeah.
So wait, before that.
So first of all, there will be cake, not today, on the birthday. There will be like cake, online cake for everybody. You will see it. So
emoji cake. Yes. So let's go into it. Actually, if you wanna know anything about the cloud, just leave your questions. For now, we're gonna move into talk about a bit of the history of the cloud. What was life before the cloud, right? So I think the fastest way to explain that is the death of DVDs.
Yes. Yeah, that was what started everything. And there are even like some documents online that there is a little statement that explain what was the initial reasoning behind making the cloud. But we are not going to show.
Nope.
But we are actually going to show something else, like, because it's very convenient that somebody put together like a kind of a little history page that is available on the Blender Cloud website. So if you wanna,
if you wanna read together along with us, you can go to cloud.blender.org/about.
And there you find basically from the moment the cloud was born until
there's the sausage party here with all the. Actually, there is more people involved, but some of the people are having.
This page needs to be updated.
This is really outdated. Like, Andy has a beer now.
Yes.
That's the main update.
Okay, go past.
Mitch, and there's also many more people being part of Blender Cloud. So the cloud is an inclusive platform. So lots of people having Dylan is missing there. We need to update it. And also, when we go to the end, you will see that it ends in the agent.
At least Dylan is there.
And since then, what?
There is Dylan there because one of his training is mentioned.
Oh yeah, the Toon character workflow, but he also made the Minecraft ones, and there's so much more.
Yeah.
So we could go have a how they call it, a walk down memory lane.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be a walk.
It's gonna be a walk. We are gonna walk at a fairly, a normal speed. We don't want to make it too dramatic or too boring. But I think it's fun because it starts with a launch at South by Southwest, which actually, I mean, see, you already have some materials.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it without sound, so I not to freak you out. Should I put it with sound?
No, you can leave it without because
without
I mean,
sound.
yeah,
we can
without
talk about it,
sound.
and it's also very long. It's like 5 minutes. We're not gonna show it completely.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun history. So how did it all happen? So basically, why the death of DVDs? Basically, it's because up until Jesus, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like, I mean, we can
The
do
best
kind of
way to start?
video reaction, but it's like so
Yeah.
much. Oh, wow.
Look at the struggle. But hey, there is a gooseberry right there.
Yeah.
So gooseberry is basically the
driver
of making Blender
this
Cloud.
idea, because what we wanted to do was create a more sustainable way for future open movie projects. So after Tears of Steel and after the Caminandes, the second Caminandes projects, we thought, okay, to make the team stronger, to keep people on board in the studio after a project is done, you need to create more continuity. So what can invent to make it possible to give a chance to whoever is supporting us, to whoever is a fan of our films, whoever understands that by supporting us to make films, artists and developers, you can actually, in a continuous way, you can actually get more and better projects and software. And so that's where the idea of the Blender Cloud comes in. So Ton was really, he had quite a clear vision at the time of creating this online platform where everybody could access everything we ever made up to that point. So like put all the library of everything that was ever, all the open movies there and all the trainings online for everyone to browse. And of course to update in real time subscribers and supporters about the project we would do next, which was the Gooseberry project.
The Gooseberry project, yes. Which was a bit ambitious, like the idea was to make a feature film.
Yeah, it was...
just saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to make a feature film.
Dreaming high.
Trying every way. And one of the first way was, okay, let's make the biggest crowdfunding we can think of. And even, trying to make it in a smart way. So the concept of Gooseberry was that we would have different units, different production units all over the world, like, famous Blender studios. So people that would know how the pipeline works, people who would, be available to work like in the way we normally do and make really an amazing independent production.
Which actually makes sense, made sense back in the day, because we, as the Blender Institute, we made 10, 12 minute short films. So what if you had that, I don't know, 7, 8 times, 10 teams, then you have a feature film, done, next.
There, exactly. So sounds great.
That sounds like brilliant.
Yeah, and the only thing that you need is, of course, funding, and of course you need a strong story, you need a lot of things, but like primarily...
The main thing is, funding.
The funding, and of course nobody wants to fund something so adventurous and so unclear, especially because one of the concepts behind having all these different units working on the same film was that you expect quite a degree of flexibility, both in terms of quality, content, like it would be a bit of an experimental movie. And when you have to raise the budget for such film, like people want, commercial viability. They don't want some weird experiment unless you are like an acclaimed director that has done 50 movies before, which was not our case. So, I mean, long story short, we
launched a campaign.
We launched the campaign, and actually this is what the
video
is about, with the goal of raising quite an ambitious...
What was the target?
The target, I don't even remember.
600,000?
No.
500?
The target was to get 10,000 subscribers on the Blender Cloud.
10,000 people. Wow, that was 10,000.
10,000. Tom was like, we can do 10,000. I was like, we can do 5,000. I was like, no, then we have to dream big, because otherwise, what's even the point of doing this, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And with that amount, like the idea with 10,000, it means that every year you are roughly able to bring up 1.5 millions, which would have been such a tiny budget for making such an ambitious project, but we would be able to scrape it together. In a way, I'm almost like, I'm not really glad it didn't work out, because of course, I mean, it would have been
Imagine.
I don't know what would have happened, but
Blender 2.8 wasn't even in the picture at all. Imagine, like.
But it helped us to kickstart the production of Gooseberry. So that was what we ended up doing. I mean, we got like 4,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, something like that. Plus a lot of donation, because of course it was like a crowdfunder with like a lot of different things going on, like a lot of different options and ways for people to support us. So it's a bit difficult to gauge how much support we got. So it was amazing whatever we got.
Yeah.
And that allowed us to produce like Cosmos, which is like very long, very complex visually, and really establish also the whole story, have the entire second act that then we couldn't actually produce, but it was developed. So it was awesome.
Yeah, that also was kind of the, like, thanks to Gooseberry, like we brought in a huge team. I think the biggest team of any open movie project maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Sinta.
Sinta was like 14 people.
Yeah, this
max.
was like 16, I
16,
think. Yeah.
so it was even bigger than Sinta.
epic.
And the most important thing is that thanks to having now this Blender Cloud with a monthly subscription, it meant that the main difference with the previous open projects was that instead of making one film and going home, which is what it used to happen during Sintel and There's a Steel and every other open movie project basically, was that now we can actually stay. We can, not the whole 16 people, but at least a smaller team could just stay, and actually after the movie, after all the research has been done and the tools have been made, and the pipeline is starting to get, after each project you improve the pipeline, but you can't continue it unless you stay on board. So, and I keep working on it and polishing it. So thanks to the Blender Cloud, we did it. We managed to stay here, 4 or 5 of us, and keep polishing that
keep
that
growing.
wheel.
Yeah.
Then now it kept growing, and now it's up to 10 people here in the institute, in the Blender Animation Studio.
Yeah.
Thanks to the cloud.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But that was fast forward. Okay.
So just to cut back to this, like just go back to the video a little bit, because we can talk about that, and that kind of summarizes a little bit like how the launch of the cloud went. Yeah, the problems. It's time
to do.
No, but look at my haircut. I mean,
you improved that.
I don't know what
you
to
look
say.
the same. I mean, you didn't age a minute. You still have that hoodie?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome space.
So this is at the time. So in case you're wondering why this is happening, because I mean this is now getting a little bit old. So it might be a bit weird that I just do this thing in,
all by yourself.
In the streets of Austin.
Yeah.
So
by the second year.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this was at the time the song "Happy" was very popular by Pharrell, and so a lot of people were doing this kind of videos. So we thought, well, let's just do it ourselves as well.
Happy.
And there is this whole narrative that Mathieu Aubray, the director of Cosmos Laundromat, he was there with me and Ton at South by Southwest when we launched the campaign. He was just there to witness the drama of the launch of this campaign outside of the studio in the middle of a conference. So we're like, let's just do something crazy to shake the nerves up a little bit. And so then we went and shot this, and it was hilarious, and it became kind of a little. It was just a fun moment It was one of my fondest memories of being in Austin, and we tried to establish it as a tradition for the following years, or year at least.
Managed.
Yeah, so during Cosmos Laundromat, actually this is even more fun because you can see the theme.
Exactly. So after the second year,
still problems with the haircut.
Your haircut is a protagonist on its own. What are you wearing then?
Well dressed up.
Which kind of cave are you? That's the Blender Institute. Yeah.
Yeah.
With all lights off, of course.
Yeah, because we wanted to make it dramatic. Look at that.
Okay, screw it. I'm going out. Back to Italy. Hey, you left your window open.
And it's night. Oh no, wait, it's day. Wow.
I'm so confused right now. Why are you?
I'm running on a bridge.
Anyway, with music it's more fun. You can Google Happy Cloud 2 Blender, and you'll find. Whoa!
Look at that! It's basically the entire team.
Yes.
And everybody's like kind of dressed up and nice and.
Developers are missing. No, Anthony's there.
Yeah, Anthony's is there, but I don't know where if the other guys, they simply just, And,
yeah, it was a random morning. It was in March. We were freezing.
Yeah, it was quite cold.
But anyway, this was celebrating the 2nd year of the Blender Cloud.
We were so happy.
Already with a team. Anyway, already with a team. We were working on improving parts of the cloud itself. So the cloud was not only just about training and the previous OpenMovie project, but also transforming into this production platform. So projects such as Attract for tracking shots in the production of a film,
shot management
came to life. Actually, they were alive already back in Tears of Steel, but they became now part of the cloud.
Yeah, and the same also for the render manager, like Flamenco, the render manager, was also
developed
more or less developed at the same time and kind of integrated. So the idea of having like production management, render management, asset management, all integrated within one product online, the Blender Cloud, and also have it available as a service, that really started to become a more concrete idea.
Like seeing you dancing there and talking about technical stuff, because so serious. It's
I'm trying not
contrast.
to look, but
try not to look at the sideburns. Amazing.
Yeah, and then he was like, this is also of course Mathieu's work,
creation,
like the magic, really good with like the slow-mo and everything. But with having like one team working on film and working on software at the same time, it is sometimes quite challenging to combine the different needs and to really get something that works and helps to get the movie done, and something that everyone can benefit from, because thinking really in terms of service, so that every subscriber can just use the same exact platform, not just run the software themselves, but really be hosted on the cloud and do whatever they want. That's really something. But that's something that started there in these happy times, and it's still going.
Literally happening. Now, this is the shower.
Okay, this is the grand finale. This is the shower of the Blender.
It's a shower of the Blender Institute. Right now, it houses the. Back in the days, it was used as a shower. Then the render farm was there, and now it's a 3D printer room.
Workshop.
Yes, but also it serves as a little club there.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
With the disco ball and everything.
Yes.
We were so happy. Okay, let's...
2nd birthday. What happened since then? Jesus.
And we wanted to make another video like last year. Last year, actually, it was in the middle of Agent 327. Because we were doing Agent 327 at the time, and Colin was here, and I remember talking with Colin about like maybe making something, but we were so busy, didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Damn, yeah, that's
so happy. Oh, Gabriel was here.
Yeah.
Bjorn,
Sarah, and Antonis, and
awesome.
You.
That's me. Nice. You were probably somewhere there.
Nice. Okay, let's go to actually see some more history, something more interesting. So we mentioned Cosmos Laundromat.
What happened after Cosmos Laundromat?
Yeah.
Glass half.
Yes.
So
did you work on it?
Kind of. Yes, I did. I did some stuff. So so right after having the finished Cosmos Laundromat, like we said, the big team, the biggest team ever, 16 people, had to shrink down, of course, because we couldn't
keep going.
Couldn't keep going forever. That's we burn everything in making these videos, hiring
high production budget.
Course.
Yeah.
And a smaller team stayed here. Of course, we stayed together with Francesco. We were working on the actual Blender Cloud itself. Then there was 3 animators. Here was Bjorn, Sarah, and Hjelti.
Yeah.
And there was Andy doing render stuff. Like, poor Andy was doing all that it was render. He was doing it. So that's how Glass Half came out, right?
Yeah, it was the idea of making something a bit more relaxed. Originally, it was meant to be as a test for a character rig generator. So a way to generate procedural characters that would be simple and appealing and good for making quick animations. And then it evolved into something a bit more, you know, why not make it a little story, because that's what we try to do all the time. So Bjorn pitched a very nice concept about these two art critics in an art gallery that see a different meaning in pictures that kind of reflects their view on life. And that's the premise of the story, and crazy things happen.
Yes.
With motion graphics and fun.
And the main, like, you know, for every project there is like a driving development, I guess. Well, for this one was OpenGL render. So after having 25-hour long renders during Cosmos Laundromat, we said, okay, maybe we should do something more
fun,
you know, faster to render. So actually, this is the first and only render open movie rendered in the viewport. For now, until well, it depends. No, because
I mean,
Hero, does it count? Because it also renders.
Yeah. But until now, you know, this was when this was made, like, people didn't even believe it. It's like, so this thing took like 1 second per frame, 2 seconds per frame, something like that, in 4K to render. So
4K.
It was very gratifying for people to be able to just
that's so awesome.
hit render and just.
I love that guy in the middle is called Steve.
Poor guy. Look. Oh, it's like they knock his baseball hat over.
I think this is my moment.
So bad. And this is it. Now, for everybody who is speculating about the Code Quest.
The Code
Quest
meaning. You were right.
So what do you have to say, Pablo? This is your chance.
This is the conspiracy theories saying that this rocket is actually connected with the Code Quest.
So there is a rocket in the right-hand side picture over there. Yeah.
So yes, I made both. I made this rocket and the other one, and there is a connection already in 2000. When is this?
You were already
14, 15?
Yeah,
15-ish.
Yeah. You were already deeply thinking
15
of the Code Quest already.
I could not sleep thinking of the Code Quest. So I was already, this was Blender 270
something. 9, 8,
early.
7, 5,
no.
76. I have no idea.
6, 5.
You should remember all this stuff. But
it's
look,
very early. So this is a tight connection between it, and then it gets taken away. Yeah. And that was my whole contribution to the project.
Well,
and I made a website and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I was mainly making websites because they were like the cloud at this moment. We only had were mainly 2 people. There was you in the back end, and I was doing the front end.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work to be done. So we needed to focus on it full time.
Yes.
Exactly. So nice, glass half. If you can't understand what they're saying, you're not supposed to, because it's a Jewish. Yes. It's more universal.
Trivia.
Trivia.
Yeah.
Next.
Moving on.
Whoa. What happened? What?
After that, we thought, okay, the cloud needs to grow, because we really were putting effort and attention into getting the cloud to grow. And we introduced the art gallery. The art gallery is like one of the, it's an idea for supporting our concept of learn by example. So in the cloud, like, our content is mostly, like, in the learning part, is really aimed at being learn by example. Learn how things are done by being able to open a blend file, by being able to just look at how, you know, the artist made something. And we started with some amazing contribution by Gleb Alexandrov. He at the time was putting out these crazy renders. He's really great artist. And he agreed on sharing the actual blend files that he was using to render that kind of stuff, and also break down the process a little bit. And so that's how the art gallery started. And you know, it's something very peculiar, because it's not a tutorial. It's not like this is how you do it step by step. It's more like
it's learn by example. That's the whole premise. So instead of up until now we had this training about explaining from scratch how to basically do something, but that's more like a course, because it's like 8 hour 5 hour long courses. Then there is the other category, which is like a workshop. So it's something a bit smaller, shorter, but it's also around an image, for example. But then there's the other level. It's like many levels, right? You will take a course if you're a beginner and you want to know from scratch some area, I think.
Yeah, or some specific technique or something like that. Yeah.
If you're a bit more intermediate, then you can maybe go do a workshop. The workshops are what they're more focused on one particular workflow, and that's also very very powerful. For example, Wake in the Forest is this awesome image by Andy, and the workshop is 13 videos explaining how this is done. So there is some intermediate level there, but there is the other level which is for more advanced people. So it's just hardcore Blender users that want to I want the blend file. Just cut it and
just show me.
Give me the blend file and maybe explain something, because every blend file is its own world. But for example, Mantisa, we get Mitch making these
amazing
weird images. So how is that done?
So you just go there and then you just download the blend file and you can explore it and find out.
So you go to the Mantisa, you can open the image, and then you get the actual files. So there's no explanation. There's just open the file and use it.
Mind blown.
Which is fantastic, because some people there, especially if you're more advanced, you don't need an explanation, or it's even more fun to just discover. And also this makes artists want to contribute this kind of content. So for example, Mitch contributed all of the files for free, so they're available. Everything that you see with the free tag is available for anyone. You don't even have to log in. Anyone
just
can download
it. Go for it. Yep.
We also included the splash screens. That was a good excuse to have Blender official splash could be featured on the cloud. Yeah, it can be. It's also learn by example. It's not necessarily a tutorial about how it was done, because that will take way too much time, but you'll want to know how it's done. So the Blender Cloud is also holding that kind of stuff. Blender Conference, that's another good excuse to make content.
Yeah, you also make content for the Blender Conference.
Pablo Vasquez here, this weird, whatever that is.
See, look at that, like Independence Day. That's
Independence Day. Yeah, it was that was the what was it? Yes, it was the.
What do you mean? It was like
micro displacement was just added, so it's like I need to do something with it, and I made it for the code. Not the code quest. I need to put maybe the code quest will go here.
But
first, let me take a self. No, but first, it's gonna go in the little rockets.
Yes.
So as an exclusive gift to all the code quest supporters, they're gonna get it first on the rocket, and then we'll put it on the Blender Cloud.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's the art gallery. What else happening? Are there any questions so far? Shall we answer some questions first?
Yeah, I mean, because also time flies, so we gotta pick it up.
Wow.
So.
Yes. Okay. Let's go. I'm gonna read mainly the ones that are tagged at Blender Cloud, so it appeared in orange. That's easier to read actually. I can show you what we're reading. It's the window. So. One bird told me yesterday someone got render. What? Antonio Vasquez, main developer of Grease Pencil, is dropping some
news,
dropping some knowledge there.
Yeah.
That this bird, maybe it's the same bird that they told me.
Wow.
It's someone got rendered Grease Pencil with cycles.
So you can actually have a Grease Pencil stroke and then
on top of cycles, or the other way around.
Wow.
Mind blown.
Beautiful. Awesome. So come here to the Blender Cloud Live to discover these exciting things.
As they happen. Thank you, Antonio. Gracias.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, that's it with the question. Well, no, there is more comments. I mean, Magical Cyrus says about the cloud subscription and thought it was cool that I get to see in development videos and pics of open projects like the best money ever paid. But Pablo just shows them all in the live stream. Pablo shows them all in the live streams. Yes. What is not about showing is in the cloud you get way more things, many more things. Not about
of
showing.
course you have a point about how much
we share.
Because there is really this line, especially in how currently things are presented, that you can browse every picture, being a subscriber or not being a subscriber, and then the line is more into, do you actually want to have the assets themselves? Do you actually want to see a video? So, you know, we try, of course, to just give a peek to people that are not subscribers to get an idea. But
it's a peek on like showing what's new on the Blender Cloud, right? But we're just showing like maybe one render, which you can read on the blog without being a subscriber. So that is all open to everyone. Maybe I show some things that are like some videos that are only visible for Blender Cloud subscribers, but it's just a sneak peek. I try to keep it low. But also, we know about many other things on the cloud that maybe are hidden. So, for example, did you know that you can go back to 2013 and see layouts of Cosmos Laundromat? So you can take any of your favorite open movies and go back there.
Oh my god!
So look at this, beautiful. Look at this. This is the pinkness is strong in this one. So this is when the guy. No, actually, this is fairly final. But anyway, my point is 17-minute animation.
If you want to watch a 17-minute version of Cosmos Laundromat, then...
Cosmos without the credits even. There you go.
Wow, look at that.
Ah no, there is 2 minutes. There is 1 minute credit. But basically, you can meet Tara. You know what Tara is? Who Tara is? Tara is the... Look at that. There's a chase scene. He's riding a dragonfly. How would you have known that this would have happened if you weren't there? It's thanks to these live streams. So I think it's nice to show some of the content. So of course this is only for cloud subscribers right now, but it's good to show it.
Yeah. More questions.
More. Maybe we could have a section in these live streams where we go when we visit something obscure on the cloud.
Well, at some point Andy made a blog post called 5 things.
5 things. No, 7.
7 things. Yeah, but
7 things.
Yeah, go figure when it was. That may have gone under your radar.
That may have. It was something with the radars.
Yeah,
right?
but it's like, come on, it was like.
Do we have search?
No, not the blog posts.
Scripting for artists.
No. This is like it's quite some time ago. Like.
Yes, it was the under the radar, right?
Yeah. You sync committed. No, more.
Sync committed. Here, 7 great assets. It wasn't so long ago, but basically it was
Look, there are some missing images.
No, the links are there. So, did you know you can get
a Blu-ray?
A Blu-ray model, rigged, completely rigged, ready to use in the cloud.
I mean, this was by Manu, right?
That was Manu,
like,
yes.
I mean, it's just we don't have time, but like you should just download it and open it, and you would be able to see the hinges and the little plastic creases.
Rockets.
And stuff.
You can get the rockets from Glass Half. You can get everything from Glass Half and every other open movie, but the space assets themselves, I was so proud that I made its own blend file.
Wow.
I especially like Saturn with a star in the pose. Next.
Beautiful.
But there is all kinds of things. There is Sintel production schedule. Did you know?
Wow.
Okay, it's maybe embarrassing, but basically you can see the production schedule for Sintel, like 2010. Yeah. This is history.
Yeah.
And shot walkthrough. Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. So shot walkthrough. So a lot of things. I think maybe that would be a good
something to bring back.
Something to bring back. A section
that is in the cloud. Yeah.
Exactly. There is so much, and you can't find it otherwise than just like looking through the folders.
Yep.
That's maybe a good excuse.
Yeah. More question. Give me more question.
Yes. More questions. So the bird. Hey there. I know it's an absurd question. How could it be possible working with the Blender Foundation? How do you work with the Blender Foundation?
Complicated.
It's not complicated. Well, with the Blender Foundation, it's complicated, but with the Blender Institute, it's less complicated.
Yeah, like
the Blender Animation Studio, less.
Yeah, Blender Foundation mostly works with developers. So if you're a developer and you have some amazing, like if you're an independent developer and you are, committing some fantastic stuff, and then you wanna leave your daily job and embark on a project to make Blender better in any area, you can get a grant from the Blender Foundation to start development.
Development fund, yes.
And that's the one way, thanks to the Blender Development Fund, that the Blender Foundation can get involved with individuals to actually work. And then that's like as close as you can get to working with the Blender Foundation. Because the Blender Foundation is a non-profit organization that doesn't have any employees and it doesn't have any direct commercial relations with anyone for legal reasons, because it's there to just make sure that the Blender development process is protected, that is an open structure, that is an open platform available for everyone to get involved.
It's keeping the Blender project alive. Blender.org, yes.
And then there is, of course, the Blender Animation Studio or the Blender Institute, where we actually do stuff and people can actually apply and get to work.
Yeah.
So to get involved there,
get involved in everywhere. So there is currently the team is it's very small. So so maybe it's hard like right now, like to work tomorrow. But I think at some point, of course, we're going to grow.
Yeah, but
we want to make a feature film. We have to, we got this question before, and the answer basically is just like we're not hiring like right now. But eventually some spots are needed, like animation. Maybe spring will go in crunch time, and then you need animators, so you need it immediately. So sometimes making a call for that is not like the
best way.
The best way to do it. So you have to act fast, and you start thinking of names to.
Yeah, you reach out to people that are already in the network. So to be in the network, the best way, as Paolo was saying last time, is to make sure that your work is online, that is shared. You can reach out to us on social media directly via email. Our emails are mostly public, so you can just drop us a line.
Or just make yourself known. If you're doing animations, just put your animations on a tweet about them, share them, #U3D. We read that often. Of course, you can add us. I think the whole studio is on Twitter, except Sergey. #Sergey on Twitter. But
there are many places.
There are many places.
If
there are
social
ways
media
to
is
know.
not your thing, you can always
email there directly and just make yourself known. Put your work out there. The worst case, if we don't hire you, other people will. Right?
Yeah, that's true. So, couple more questions.
Yes. You should mention the cloud plugin, guys. Yeah, that is coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Happy birthday from Argentina. Gracias, Martin.
Thank you.
Should mention the cloud add-on. Yes, cloud add-on. Any new rigging tutorial series coming soon?
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, there is right now Juan Pablo Blosa, one of the most prominent rigging technical directors in the Blender community. He's working with the Spring team to create an updated version of BlendRig, both for humans and also for quadrupeds. So we expect him to share the updates of BlendRig in the BlendRig section, which we also mentioned last time. So we know this is a very hot topic, so we will try to keep it alive. And also, like in Blender itself, like there is a bit like in Blender 2.8, there is gonna be maybe some changes in the rigging and animation, like not radical changes, but just like it's a topic. Like with Blender, you do a lot of rigging and character animation, so those tools and those themes are always something really looked at in Blender.
Always. But there is some rig overview of so there maybe it's not like a tutorial like from scratch, but there is rig overviews in the latest training by
Dylan, and also in his previous training there you really
actually that one starts from scratch. If you go to to courses, Toon character workflow, there is a whole episode from rigging from scratch using Rigify, including the face, scarf, everything. So this is very recent. This is like a few months old only.
Yeah.
And Blender rigging hasn't changed in years, so it's not like you're missing out.
Yeah. And then that's it.
If I wanted to make a workshop for the Blender Cloud, what should I do?
You should send me an email, francesco@blender.org, and then we can talk about it.
Yes. Exactly. If you want to contribute to the Blender Cloud, I invite everyone to be part of it. So if you want to make a tutorial, like a workshop, make yourself be heard.
Yes.
Yes. Do you take workshop from outside of the cloud? Exactly. Yeah, that's what we just answered. They are welcome, and also the art gallery, for example, and including the libraries that we have. The HDRI library, for example, is having it has some of its textures are actually coming from.
They've been donated.
They've been donated.
Yeah, people just reach out to us, and we give, of course, give them credit, and in the end, they agree on having this content released as a CC0. So then, how it goes there, we credit, so it becomes basically public domain content. But we are very happy that some individuals are quite generous with that, and they share the some amazing work, like especially the HDRIs, but also textures that are like people regularly contributing content. So that's pretty cool.
Fantastic. Next,
I would say let's go back to our history and
keep it short because you're reaching 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. So
yes. What happened there? Okay, so after Cosmos, after Glass Half, having like 2 open movies, one after the other, we needed more content. That's why we did the art gallery, so more focused towards advanced users to want to study blend files, and then we wanted to share all of this because we had so many
news and exciting things going on
that the blog wasn't enough. So why not trying a podcast?
Yeah, this podcast.
A weekly podcast.
Yeah, I remember Chialti talking to me about the idea of making a podcast and being like, yeah, hey, we could just do it because there were a couple of podcasts going around in the Blender community at the time, but there wasn't really that much.
There was a Blender podcast.
Yeah, there was a Blender podcast. The Blender Guru was making a podcast. There were a couple, and we were like, yeah, maybe we can try to do it too, because we are multiple people. We have different points of views on different topics, and we can just talk about what we're doing and just a theme every once in a while and just discuss stuff. And we did it. Yeah,
I think it was a great decision to do it because you don't really often get a studio full of only Blender people together, like they can get together and talk every week about Blender stuff. The Blender Guru was mainly like him doing interviews, so it was one-on-one, which is a very nice it's a very nice concept. The same with the Blender podcast was mainly 2, was Campbell and Thomas Dinges, and maybe someone else, so it was like a 3 person, but this one we could be like even 5, which then we found out maybe 5 is too much, so we shrank it to 4. But I think it's there was room for another podcast of this kind,
and it's still
going. So we tried to do it every week. Back in the days, we did it for like 40 podcasts or so, and then what happened at some point, we even stopped for a few weeks because production, like crunch time, like you're in the middle of wrapping up a movie and then summer holidays, it all happened. I think the release of the Agent was before.
I don't remember, but like it would be interesting to see the publishing schedule just to get an idea of what happened. But at some point we were really, when you establish kind of a regular, you start to get a rhythm, so you are in production. Every week is the same, and you just have to do more of the same, like more shots, more lighting, more rendering, getting the movie final, and it just goes on. So every week you can say like, okay, and now we do 1 hour of podcast. It's fairly easy to predict because where are you gonna be next week? I'm gonna be here doing more final shots. So that's great, actually. But then when things start to change, you have to wrap things up. Where there is a new project or one person goes home, then you're like, okay, or like something is running late. That's when the schedule starts to be in danger.
So then we said, okay, let's make it every 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then we commit to it.
And now it's been like at least
for a while that we do it every 2 weeks. So
4 episodes or so now.
2 episodes per month. Yeah. That I think is pretty okay.
Yeah.
And I think we're at some point at the beginning we had this topic per episode, then we kind of dropped it, and now we are trying to go back and have one topic, community news, to talk about what's going on and what people are doing on the podcast on the institute itself.
We listen to the feedback, so
yes, please. So keep if you like it, thank you. If you don't, tell us why and how to improve it.
Yeah.
Next. Blend rig.
We mentioned the blend rig, we mentioned the rigging. So in a similar way to how Juan Pablo is involved right now with his rigging skills for the Open Movie projects, he was involved during Cosmos Laundromat, and he was developing and maintaining the BlendRig rigging system. And we decided to team up and give him a platform where he could share his rigging process and the rig itself, and that's when we created the BlendRig Advanced Rigging Project section in the Blender Cloud. And that's still there, and he's been interacting with lots of users, trying the rig and releasing updates and maintaining the project alive. And I would say that nowadays this is still the place where if you want to get rig feedback, or if you have questions about how BlendRig works, you want to interact with Juan Pablo.
Yeah, Juan Pablo is still answering.
You can go and check that out. And,
52 comments on the BlendRig.
Lots of people.
Yep. Yeah, some history there. Dropping some knowledge.
Yeah.
Same. Then we have the libraries. So this concept of having assets directly in the Blender Cloud. We started with the texture library. I was just browsing it right now, just showing it a little bit of what is it. But basically, yes, it's a massive library. It's over 800, 800 textures, and each one has its own variations. So some of them have like a color, ambient occlusion, so all the different passes.
Yeah.
So there are even PBR textures, hashtag PBR, and they are all CC0, so you're free to do whatever you want with them. It's amazing, and it keeps growing.
Yes, I don't have anything to add. I think actually.
Well, I mean, we can mention the add-on that you can access this amazing texture library from within Blender.
Yeah, it's actually coming up. So like if because then there is like the
character library, which is also another attempt to get
production
quality rigs
and
characters, whatever, anything ready to use. So the idea is that a lot of people, sometimes you hear in the community or outside of the community, actually saying that the Blender is lacking good characters. You know, those typical when you're making an animation test and you want to have...
You just want to animate. You just want to animate something. You want to build your rig. You don't want to model your character. If you're an animator especially, it's really interesting. Or if you want to make just, a render with a character in it. So you're just playing around with an environment. You want to put a character. Then we decided to basically package some of our, or basically most of the Open Movie characters as a standalone file that you could just import and use for your entertainment, so for your animation or for your rendering. And it's really like you can see, like Victor.
Some of well, these ones were ready already, but some even were brought back to life for the 10th anniversary of Elephant's Dream. The two main characters came back as Cycles characters and ready to use with the new rigging updated by Bassam Kordali, director of Elephant's Dream, and the new shading from Andy Goralczyk, the art director of Elephant's Dream. So by the authors, updated by the authors, and not only having existing characters but a new one. So here comes Vincent.
Yes. Victor. No,
Vincent. So this character was designed by Matias Mendiola and was modeled and shaded by Andy Goralczyk. Wrong? No? Okay.
Wrong.
And it was rigged by Juan Pablo Bosa.
Yes.
Using BlendRig. So it's a full-on
production quality character that we did not use ourselves to make a movie, but we extensively got it in the hands of Hjalti to test and play around with to make sure that it's quite solid. He actually made a breakdown of how to pose it and how to control it. So just, this is really meant to be an animation character.
Yes.
So if you have an animation test, an animation exercise, and you wanna get a high quality, like feature quality character, then you can really give a shot to Vincent, and it's full feature. It's like really you can push it all the way. And with Vincent itself, it has been particularly fun because we have seen people using it like for even
animation
reels
tests,
and animation tests. Nimble Collective has been using Vincent for a
really?
short film.
Awesome.
So it's really fun. Yes, and that's this is part of the character library.
Yes. Bam, llamas happened. Yes. Yeah. So at the after Cosmos, right after Cosmos, like a week after, the team started working on Glass Half, and Glass Half. Right at the end of Glass Half, in the month prior to that, we were working on the cloud itself, like we were talking about before. But at the same time, we were working together remotely with Matias Mendiola, working on the story of a new Caminandes episode, which started immediately after Glass Half. So that was a massive 3 open movies in a row project.
Yeah, if you could have a book with like the most brilliant ideas of mankind, I don't think you would put this in it. But
Yes.
It was
Like grabbing a team all burnt out from 2 big open movies and put
Let's
them
do
in
another one.
Let's do another one.
But
and
yeah.
What?
No, I think that's more or less how we went.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was great because we tried to push it more in the direction. Okay, let's do actual story development. So Matthias did some great work, also using the kind of primitive version of grease pencil to lay out Caminandes and pitch some story ideas, and then we were discussing them here. So we started to have more like of a team dynamic going on to develop the film. What is this? Oh, it's a weekly from Caminandes.
Exactly. This is the one and only project where we did actual edited weeklies, and it was quite well, it was a short project. It was only 10 weeks that we did this, but I think it was a nice recap, because nowadays you can actually watch the whole 10 weeks in like, each one is like 7 minutes or so it's like watching a movie basically of the whole process of the making of this short film.
Yeah.
Yes,
and of course there is that never-ending gag of Kjell telling, I didn't see you there. Did you use the same camera that we're using now to stream this live there? Like, is this the same camera?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, exactly. Yeah. It was that guy, and he didn't know how to focus. What is this idiot doing there? Jesus, look at so young, full of life. Anyway, I think it's great content, great material, and also it's a full-on open movie production. Jesus. Okay, well, enough of that. That is Caminandes La Amigos, the last episode of Caminandes. But then,
so we get to kind of a pivotal moment in the history of the Blender Cloud, which is kind of funny that
before and after.
Yeah,
right?
It's really before and after. No, it's just like I'm looking at the time and thinking like, how many things there would be to say about like what happened next. Like, it's really like almost worth his own episode of the things that happen after.
Yeah, shall we split it in a second part? Because actually right after this is when we got a doctor in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really like the up until now we were talking about actual making the open projects happen, but right when Sivren joined is when I think a lot of we
were really able to focus with more care and attention on making the cloud the kind of platform that I was talking about earlier. So really something that can be used by everyone to use for their own projects and to make their life in Blender easier and to really make it worthwhile their support. Because even if not always we have an open movie project going on, at least creating a sustainable base of content, the libraries and everything else, and I mean the past open movies, that was very, very important. So I think it's worth
keeping it for another episode.
Yeah. I think we can make something dedicated to it. So like actually here we can just glance over
all the things, but we'll have. I want to have Sivren here
live. Exactly, because his contribution has been of course massive, and the cloud is what it is now. Thanks to him. Yeah,
especially in the services part. So he only not only made like even the cloud add-on, the Blender Cloud add-on, and the Blender ID add-on, the one where you can log in via the Blender ID. It's just that plus a private, like imagine, like you should look at the dates. So Sivren joined March 1st. Actually, we had a cake celebrating his 2-year anniversary some days ago.
Yeah.
But it's like in May, so March to go nuts in how the code of the Blender Cloud was.
Yeah.
April to clean it up, and then May, bam, come up with private projects. So you can make your own projects the same way we use the projects for Glass Half, Caminandes, and Cosmos. You can make your own and share it with your friends and your
as a matter of fact, that's the next
project. And like, look, is it the third? I don't know. It's just for me, it's very funny because it's like a week after it's on fire. And introducing project sharing. So now you can not only make your projects, but you can share it with any other Blender Cloud subscriber as part of your team. Bam! 2 days later, It's
a texture library.
Was he on anything? He was taking some.
Yeah, no, I think it was just we were doing a good job of sharing the things that were happening, and it was like a very exciting moment to have someone to push on those things that were like we were really waiting to do them, waiting for the right person to pick them up, and then he was clearly the right person because it happened. So.
And L'Amigos Caminantes was already done, and this was okay. After 3 open movies, let's take a break. A break in like not make open movies, but maybe make tutorials and make other kind of content for the cloud, and at the same time this actual development could happen. The same 2 days later, come out with the cloud add-on. That's the main task of the add-on back then was just to access the texture library and be able to have everything from within Blender, so you don't have to go to the web. Just go, you're there, press a shortcut, load the texture, click, load, next. But that was for the public library of the one that we just shown. That is your public library, but you can have your own. 13 days later he made it so you can make your own texture library, your own projects, the same way you have like we have the open movies. You can have your own project as a texture library. But wait, there is more than
the day after.
The month after. Just 1 month, jeez.
So good.
He not so slow. He's like a month. You can. The next month, the Blender Sync was released. So this is the gift of the Blender Cloud to the community. It's a way to synchronize your preferences, your add-ons, your theme, everything, your Blender settings basically. Put them up on the cloud and access them from any computer. So that is actually free for everyone, anyone. You don't even need a Blender Cloud subscription. You just need your Blender ID, which is free. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Bam. Next month, image sharing. So you can, from within Blender, you can click on an image. In the image editor, you can click on like share on Blender Cloud, and it opens the browser, and magically you have the image to share with anyone. The same, you can also, from the render menu, you can take a screenshot of the window. Pretty awesome. An HDRI library 13 days later. That was on fire. What happened?
That was really productive.
Like a sprint,
and things are still going. Like actually, I think it's for the next time this page will maybe be a bit more up to date with like all the Attract and Flamenco features that were added and developed. Which some of them are not summarized here. They have their own websites, both Attract and Flamenco, so that they have a blog and you can learn about it. But it's not that things have slowed down that much.
Not at all.
And but I think it's gonna be very, very much fun, like to just discuss these things and how they went, and also like maybe find out what's in the future of the Blender Cloud and what's happening right now.
Yes.
Also with the new Blender coming up, like how are these libraries going to work?
The asset management, how is it going to work with the Blender Cloud? That's a good one to remember.
So we can talk about it next time, I think.
Yeah, I think it would be a good thing to talk about. Yeah. So the HDRI library is the same concept as the texture library, but it works as an HDRI. Usually it's used for environments, so it's and also the images are way bigger, so you have a way to control which ones you download. It's amazing. You should check it out. Then more training. Toon Character Workflow, the one we mentioned with Daylon Gu, came up, and the last item on the list, but we need to update it because since then have been one more open movie, Graves,
2 more announced and running. And
2 more announced and maybe Attract and maybe Flamenco, Render Farm.
Yeah.
So it's a world has happened, all thanks to the Blender Cloud subscribers.
Yes.
So it's been quite a ride.
So let's do a quick run through the remaining questions.
And then we're gonna wrap it up. So if you have any questions, this is your time. So it's a Blender Cloud. It's a great idea regarding the texture library. But what we will want is a shader library. Textures are great, but you need something to use them, a shader. And yes, we are listening.
Yes, we are listening.
What
can I say?
No, I think the Blender 2.8 Asset Manager is gonna open this possibilities. I think it's a like textures is easier because it's just an image that you just grab. You have different versions, but accessing a data block such as a material inside of a blend file, because they get saved on a blend file, it's a bit more tricky. But
yeah, and also in relation to, for example, textures, because if you have like a PBR material which is set up in a certain way, but it uses a bunch of maps as an input, then what do you do? Like,
you bring all the maps, or what do you do?
Do you have them already or not? So it's like to do this well, like, and not simply just bundle up materials so that you can download them, because that's not what we would do.
Some people do that. Some people
just
share material libraries. Like they give you a blend file, and then you have to like append or group from there, but then you don't have a lot of control. So I think it's better if it would be built inside of Blender itself, using the new asset manager.
Yeah, and also like with the knowledge of the fact that you can override something, or the fact that you can link something and things like that. So we are definitely thinking about it, and the next Blender will definitely help to achieve that.
Is it planned in the same way as the open projects to be able to browse other people's open projects in the cloud?
Yeah, and this is
we answered this on the
popular question that gets asked. Was it in the podcast?
We answered in the last podcast actually. If you go to the cloud in the last podcast, the focus at the end
there
somewhere in this area at
you
the
can
end,
hear me saying the following words.
No, we're not gonna. Maybe you can move your mouth and then. No, but basically, to sum it up, is that it will take a lot more work. Not work, but it's a.
It basically creates kind of a legal obligation to allow people to post their content, because we need to make sure that the poster that is content is kind of controlled in a way, like that follows some guidelines. So you need to establish some guidelines, and then you need to make sure that the community respects and follows those guidelines. And that's also something from a message of what is the cloud itself, like how that shifts and how that changes the meaning of the cloud as a production platform. So giving people the possibility to publish their own projects is something that is very exciting, something we've been looking at, something we've been thinking about, but it has a number of implications. So that's why it's not just possible now, it's something we are thinking of.
Yeah, exactly. And that is connected to the other question by Mobstar, saying that where can you see the other people's images, like the ones they share with using the cloud add-on. And there's no way to do that now. If you access a link, they give you a link to their image, you can.
Yeah.
But that's the only way. There's no.
Yeah, and it's kind of designed like that for the moment.
I think
there are many websites where you can just drag and drop an image and use that link, or there are
like
apps.
Imgur,
exactly. There are like apps that are integrated in your system, or like using Dropbox or something like that. And then you just give somebody a link, and that's it. They don't care about where it comes from. And nowadays, modern chats, for example, they can just preload the image and you see it, so you don't even go there. You just see it.
Yeah,
so
and having a place, a public place where all the people's images are there, it's the same problem we had with the private.
Exactly.
With the open project, it's out of control, and you won't have a lot. You will need a lot of.
You need to make sure
that people follow the guidelines, that this doesn't get out of control.
Yeah.
So it's efforts that we can't afford right now. I think they should turn the cloud sharing site to something similar to Behance, something you can pointer in the main. Well, that's the same question.
Yeah.
Same.
It's interesting to hear that a lot of people think that it has that potential, because having the cloud to be perceived as such platform is great.
I think it would be cool at some point to do it. Once we have a bit more of the means to do it, the ways to do it, I think it will be great. I would love to share my own projects, and without having it to be like an open project. I would love to show personal stuff. Yeah. So coming up eventually.
Yeah.
Yes. Just to mention that we actually also want to do it ourselves. It's just that we can't afford it right now, but it's something we want to do. And the last one is they should also make other USB sticks to make them collectibles, like McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Can we? Can I have more rockets or other?
We are thinking something along those lines. Like if So we never made something like this before.
The first time.
So we can actually
learning.
We can make with the second camera, when we actually get the rocket, we can actually have an episode where we look at it, we see how it was done. We can show the process of making these kind of things. I love like doing these products, and it's always a challenge because you have to work with the manufacturer, you have to make a design, you have to work with an artist, or like with Julian, with Pablo.
How to come back, how to make it, how to
make something, go back and forth, make sure that it fits in the mailbox, make sure that everything works correctly, and so on. But once we survive this process, then we can probably think of doing something else. I think it would be very
maybe
nice.
If you have any ideas, let us know. So I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yes,
thank you for staying until the end. It's been a bit longer than usual, but I think it was worth it. I hope it was fun to watch. I have a question for people. So if you have watched it until the end, then
for you survivors,
and for you exclusive group that knows you gotcha. Yes. No, I would like to know. We just talked for over 1 hour about the last 4 years of Blender Cloud. What would you like to see in the next 4 years for Blender Cloud? Is it open projects like you said? Is it more tracking your shot management like Attract?
Making your own public project.
Making your own public project, making your libraries.
Tutorials.
Asset management.
Asset libraries.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to see more of the production side or more like tutorials? You want to learn? What kind of tutorial? Is it beginners? Is it like advanced stuff? Is it, I don't know, Blender 2.8 stuff? Do you want to, I don't know, the cloud add-on should be, I don't know. There's so many things. So
yeah, let us know if you have any thoughts.
Let us know, exactly. Yeah, leave your comment down here.
Write in the comments, not in the chat.
So no, not in the chat because the chat dies after this. So wait a moment until the end. And then you can leave a comment. And maybe you can also leave a thumbs up. So we know if you like this episode. So long. All right.
That's it.
It's over.
I think.
Let's wrap it up. Okay. So otherwise you're going to hate us.
Thank you very much and see you
Thanks
next time.
everyone. We will see you in the next episode. Same week, same time, same place, same everything. Ciao.